Welcome back, guys. Today's video is an update for the Bitcoin trading range and also a look at a potential crypto relief rally. Now, this is something that I have looked at over the course of this previous bounce on Bitcoin and also mentioned it to our members in Patreon. So if you are interested to learn more about trading and investing, check out the link in the top of the description to our Patreon group over there. The reason for the relief rally and where I'm looking at to sell some of those cryptos is based on support and resistance, basically being a trading range for Bitcoin. And of course, I look at Bitcoin as being the king of the market. So whatever happens in Bitcoin, if we're getting a nice strong bull market in Bitcoin, we generally see that flow over effect into cryptocurrencies. So I'll get into that in a little more detail in just a moment. I'm going to cover some of the news headlines because there's still more cryptocurrency adoption happening. But first, a quick update of my retirement fund, which in Australia is a superannuation fund or an SMSF. Currently at 280K, 10K of that is cash, 270K of that is in digital currencies, that being Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I see those as the blue chips. Now, of course, this account has dropped. It got somewhere around 450K Aussie dollars, remember? And it's come up from a base of around 26K with 20K added. So it's at about $46,000, now sitting at 270 over the course of this bull market. So this is something that I'm planning to continue holding through to the next stage of the bull market. And of course, I'll continue updating it on the channel in terms of where I might be selling or my thoughts on what I'll do with this retirement fund. Of course, make sure you smash the like buttons and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along for this journey. For the guys in the US, if you want to set up your own retirement funds with cryptocurrency, check out iTrust Capital. If you use the link in this description for this video, $100 of funding rewards for free. All you have to do is click the open account and create yourself an account. That's it. As a part of my morning routine, I check the prices, I check the charts, and of course my alerts will come up if I need to be taking some action in the markets. And then I'll head over to the news headlines to see what sort of market sentiment the media is trying to shove down my throat. We can see that the market hasn't done too much over the last 24 hours. There's a few percent either way compared to the day before when we had extreme fear. So today we're down at 20 based on the previous 24-hour period where the market had sunk. But we have seen some of the cryptos bounce back from this potential support area. Even while the market is down, the crypto adoption continues. So this is looking at it in terms of a macro view, a longer term outlook compared to the short term movements that I'm seeing in the market. So if I'm aware of what's going on in the short term, then I can start to put aside some of the market sentiment that tends to flip day to day. And I see it in the comment sections. People are thinking that you're selling one day and buying back at a lower price the next day. It's not how it works. We're looking at short term against long term because I personally have two different portfolios. I have a trading portfolio and a longer term hold portfolio. So FTX rolls out crypto services for game publishers. This is basically part of their $2 billion Web3 venture fund. So they're still throwing a ton of money into this space and they're looking at a longer term view. At least that's the way my take is on this. I wouldn't be looking to throw $2 billion at something just for a day-to-day, week-to-week sort of thing. I think most people understand that, but we always get swept up with the daily price fluctuations as if the market is completely over. FTX Gaming will launch gaming tokens, offer NFT support, and is already set to hire software engineers as early as this month. Recently, we had more big news around Southeast Asian banks getting into the crypto investment space. This time it's Korea's largest bank to launch the country's first crypto investment fund. The aim is to launch a crypto exchange traded fund and futures products as soon as regulation in the country allows. And like we saw the other day was Singapore's DBS Bank. We saw Thailand's Siam Bank. We've seen Philippines Union Bank. So they're all trying to get into this action. And while we're at least sideways in this market, I'm seeing this again as more time for the bigger institutions to be setting themselves up for the next leg, which is basically what we saw in 2019 and early 2020 before we took off into 2021. Russia is doing the same thing. Russian finance minister submits proposal for Bitcoin regulations. Putin has said the country has certain competitive advantages in crypto mining. And further down, he also talks about the surplus of electricity and well-trained personnel available in the country. More big names getting into the Web3 space, being Spotify this time is hiring a senior back-end engineer to explore Web3. At least that's what their LinkedIn post suggests. They're calling it the uncovering the next growth opportunity. So looking at Web3 as the next growth opportunity. We've heard that term splashed around a hell of a lot. YouTube is currently hiring for a Web3 director, and Twitter began rolling out NFT profile pictures earlier this year. Now for Bitcoin and the trading range, we have a low in it at 33K. The top now has been put in just short of 46. So for ease of words here, 33 and 46 is the range. So it's about a $13,000 range. Now we had a reversal in the last 24 hours, and some of the cryptos which had also been falling over the last 48 to 72 hours have also started to show at least a short-term relief rally. We've got several days down, and I'm expecting at least something from this point. Now, if that doesn't happen, we'll know pretty soon, and the market is very close to that low at this point anyway. So if we do get that relief rally in Bitcoin, I would expect some of these cryptos to also have that relief rally. What is this good for? Why am I mentioning this? Well, last time we had a pretty reasonable rally up to these levels, the resistance point around $45,000 to $46,000. This was the time that everyone got really excited, and we were looking for higher prices, but we could know early on if we were going to get them because the market had to break back above 46, consolidate, and move again. We saw the opposite. The market did retreat, which is normal. We need to see the retreat in the market to consolidate and start to move higher again. However, this time we fell very short. The 15th of February got a nice move up, the next day inside, and then we plummeted from that point. Now, during the early stage of February where we had these tops on Bitcoin, I was using this time to sell off some of my cryptocurrencies. You may have remembered on the channel that I was looking to sell off some more altcoins because I just wasn't sold on the fact that the alts were ready to pump up to new all-time highs, or at least give me the risk reward that I'm looking for. I want to get 200, 300, 500%. I don't think alts are ready for that just yet. And I was posting this specifically to our members in case people were wondering, what do I do if I have all these alts and I feel like I'm holding really, really heavy bags? Should I get out? Not financial advice, but this is just what I'm looking at in terms of some information to other people if they're looking to do that. On these rallies up, this is basically what they call sell the rip. So we're getting these rips up, and maybe they go higher. Maybe you do get a 51K, and maybe those altcoins do go higher. But if you're feeling overexposed to the market, these are some opportunities potentially to be selling off some of that portfolio. Now, this, of course, like I said, it's not financial advice, but this is just what I'm doing and what I'm sharing with our members as well, so that I'm prepared for that next stage. I want to be consolidating my portfolio and looking to get into Bitcoin and ETH because I think Bitcoin will move first in this next stage. Of course, I can be wrong. And it doesn't matter for me, the way I look at altcoins anyway, is that I'm just using them to get more Bitcoin and ETH. So whether I get them from an absolute low to a 5x, or I get the 5x from a higher level to another higher level. At the end of the day, it's still all profit. And that's the way I view the market when it comes to altcoins. Now, I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video to the Bitcoin 4-year cycle update. I'm looking at specific areas where the market will come in for a low, potentially sometime later this year or earlier next year. But I do expect another solid low to come in before we are ready to take off to new moon high prices. So I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this. Make sure you liked and subscribe to this video. Check out the links in the description for Patreon and I Trust Capital. I'll see you guys at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.